Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of the Cartridge and Disc Podcast. This is your Gen X gamer here, stuck in traffic. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, it's been a long day, and I've been grinding. And one of the things that I do in business is, if I find somebody that's more successful than me, I want to learn from them, right? I don't sit there and talk smack about them, because obviously they're doing something better than I am, right? If I find somebody who's a master in their craft and what I do, I want to learn from them, right? And 9 times out of 10, right, it doesn't have to do with skill. It doesn't have to do with natural born talent. It has to do with effort and what you're willing to do, right? Because in any endeavor in life, anything that has to do with work, talk is cheap. Anybody can talk, right? But it takes grit, it takes character to show up every day, to do actual work, grind it out, and put yourself in a position to succeed by doing what others are not willing to do, right? One thing that I tell everybody whenever they're asking me for advice at work, what I tell them is this: if you're in an industry where you're worried about, getting laid off or whatever, you go in there and you find out what the hardest job is. You find out what job your boss doesn't want to do, and you become amazing at that. So the last thing your boss wants to do is fire you, and that doesn't matter if it means cleaning the roof or cleaning toilets. Whatever the hell that is, it could be the worst job in the company. You want to master that skill, because that's the one thing your boss doesn't want to do, and he knows he can rely on you to do it. Not only will it preserve your job, but it will also get you paid more. You'll be the first one to get a raise, believe me, because if they haven't been able to find anybody to do that except for your boss, he'll do anything to keep you happy so he doesn't have to do that. So effort, has to do a lot with what you're putting into your work. When it comes to young Ripa, he triggers a lot of people because of the numbers that we're talking about here. I see so many comic book creators that as soon as they look at those numbers, their blood boils with jealousy, with envy, and that's what it is. You can see the maturity in these people, right? You can see it on YouTubers. I've lost respect for YouTubers that do that, because I know, right, that instead of focusing on themselves, right, instead of saying, wait a minute, how do you do that? I want to do that. I want to duplicate that success, right? Here I am. This is my hobby. I'm just talking to you, right? But if I was pursuing a career on YouTube, I want to hear from people that have 100, 200,000 subscribers, and finding out how they did that, right? How'd you do that? How did you get to that? It's just not time. It has to be content, right? So I would listen to that. But do I want to listen to a person that has 50 subscribers, 100 subscribers? No, right? They'll tell me why they don't listen to me, or they don't want to listen to me, but they're no experts in having 100,000 subscribers, right? On YouTube. The same thing with a mechanic. Are you going to listen to the mechanic, or are you going to listen to your friend that changes his own oil down the street? So you have to value a lot of these opinions, or and where they come from. But the way we grow as individuals in a profession, right? And I'm talking about individuals who are in the same profession, or critics or what have you. These guys know everything about everything, right? They know about the story, they know about the drawing, they know about production, they know about the business, they know whether or not he should rent a warehouse. You guys know everything. The one thing you can't do is you can't sell ice in the desert. You don't have the skill set to sell shit, because here you are talking shit on YouTube instead of making $1 million+ like this man has done twice now. Now, I'm not a huge fan. I don't watch his every episode or anything. I bought his first comic book for the same reason I bought Spawn. I thought it was going to go up in value. The book is okay, right? I didn't sit there and analyze it. It's like, I don't care. And I didn't do it with Spawn either. I enjoyed the character. I enjoyed the comic book, read it, and whatever. It's not like I'm going to give them Oscars or anything. I'm investing on something that I know is going to go up in value, or I think that it's going to go up in value. Right? But when you sit there and you criticize people that are more successful than you, all it does is it makes you look jealous, right? And it makes you look inferior to the person you're criticizing. Because what you're criticizing is what you can't do, right? And when it comes to business, that is your business. The business is selling the comic book. Whether the comic book is great or not is not really the priority to the business. It is to the artist, right? To the person drawing it. But to the business owner, his business is to sell comic books, as many as he can. So you might be the greatest artist out there, but if you can't sell shit, it doesn't matter. You can have the prettiest drawings out there. You could have the correct grammar on every page, but if the public doesn't want it, it doesn't mean jack shit. If what you're trying to do is make a living as a comic book artist, right? If what you're trying to do is having a company, if what you're trying to do is replicate that type of success, right? I'm not saying that you can't make a better book. You probably can, but can you produce these numbers? You can't, right? Because this is the second time he does it, and these same guys are still talking shit. Okay, I don't want to hear anything what you have to say, because you can't produce that type of success. Whatever it is that you do, you're doing it wrong, because you can't even do half of what this guy does, right? So if I'm an investor, I don't want to hear what you have to say, right? Because what you're doing, if you really think about it, is you're saying that whatever works doesn't, right? You're like that guy that you go to a great restaurant where people are paying $100 per plate, right? And you say, well, this tastes like shit. I can make it better at home. Okay, well, if you can make it better at home, why are you wasting your time? Open your own restaurant and sell a bunch of them like this guy. This guy's charging $100 a plate. So you're wasting your talent. The fact is, these people can't do it. Talk is cheap, and that is all they can do, is talk shit, right? If anything, right, if you're really talented, inspire yourself by this man's success. Even if you don't agree with his politics or his points of view, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? It's a young black minority business, and if you think you can do better, you go out there and do it. Stop talking about it. You got to do what you say that you're good at. You have to be willing to sacrifice and put in the work, because I bet you that a lot of his success has to do with the amount of time and effort that he puts into anything. Guys, you can't control a lot of things in life, right? You can't control how much talent you're born with. You can't control, some of the places you go to work for, how they're going to treat you. You can't control other people's reaction. The only thing you can control is the effort that you put into your work. And if you do that and you show up every day and you're willing to do what the competition isn't willing to do, you're probably going to succeed. And that includes learning from people who are better at something than you are. You could be better at 90% of the things that it takes to be a comic book artist. But if you're missing that 10%, which is the most important part, which is actually making money so you can support yourself as an artist and not be begging for change, right? Then you need to learn that, whatever it takes, even if it's from somebody you don't agree with. Guys, some of the people that I've learned some of the best things, in my trade are people that I don't particularly like, but they've had certain talents that I said, man, I need that. I have to be willing to do that. This guy is outworking me, right? I can't be outworked. This guy has this skill set that he learned by doing this. I need to learn that, right? Because if you don't realize it by now, some of us, at least the smarter part of your public, is just looking at you going, man, you're great at talking, but you're really not great at doing, right? Because you love to criticize success, but I don't see yours anywhere in sight. All right, guys, that was the talk for right now. I got to get going to the airport again. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.